Okay, now we get to do the fun part of this assignment. We're going to give Origami Bird a new color. And the first thing it tells us to do is go into styles.css and find the background color of our hero and our footer and take note of that value. So I can close index.html, open the File Explorer, open styles.css, and look for that color. There we are. So one way to note the color is just to leave the styles.css file open until I'm at a point where I can copy that. Actually, I can copy it right now. Change my mind. Copy. All right, so we're going to also need to add a new extension, the SVG language support by Jock. So let's go into our extensions icon and type SVG, and there it is, language support by Jock. So we're going to install that, and then we can just come back into our File Explorer. So I'm not really ready to open the SVG. I will in a second. I'm going to bump down to opening. I'm going to right click and open in a new tab this color picker, and it shows down here that I'm going to paste in that value that I copied, that hex value. So let's do that. Or enter a color, that's the input box. Go ahead and get into that and paste that. And as you can see, it's that green that we see here. And what we're looking at are the tints and the shades of our color. Now your color will show up at different spots on this table depending on how dark or light it is already. And my green is a relatively dark green, so it shows up fairly down in this table. But this is the table I'm going to use to play with changing the color of Origami Bird. So now I'm going to go back up here, obviously, and open the logo.svg in VS Code. So that's in images. There it is. And what we find inside this file, first of all, surprisingly, it's an image file, but it's also a text file, a file that we can actually edit and make changes to. Now I want to bring up the VS Code command palette, and it appears in a couple of different places. It's the first thing under View. You can find it there. It's also when you click open this gear icon, it also appears as your first one. So I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to type SVG, and I'm looking for preview. So this is why this extension is so really cool. We can edit on one side and immediately preview the results that we're getting on the other side. And as discussed again in the summary, excuse me, the Origami Bird, let's zoom in on him, is made up of these polygons with linear gradients inside, going from one color on one edge of the polygon to a different color on the other edge of the polygon. So as we're learning, these hex values represent colors. And in fact, these are values for a property name called stop color, which is part of the linear gradient definition. So we can just start choosing a color. Got to go find it. That is sort of guaranteed to look okay using the existing green. And I have no idea which one I want, but maybe I'll go with this 19B329. So I will copy that. And the first, I don't know which ones I want to change first. I think what I'll do is I will, anytime I see this 15468D, I will change those. I'm going to carefully highlight that. And actually, I'm going to use a trick in VS Code. I could go and find them all. VS Code highlights them for me. But, you know, that's a lot of typing. Instead, I'm going to go to Edit, Replace. It's already got the number up there for me. I've copied my light green color, so I'm going to paste it in there and then use the Replace All command. And this should be looking pretty funky as soon as I do this. Yeah. But that worked extremely well. It did it, I don't know how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 8 times, I'm not sure. Actually, I think it did say how many replacements I was making. I just didn't take note of that. And I'm going to come back here, and I think, I don't know, maybe I'll just go one lighter than the original color. So I don't know the original author. He didn't, there's this number, this dark blue, and this dark blue. Maybe I'll just highlight that one first and do a similar thing. Go up to Edit, Replace, put in the new green. Oops, I did it again. Let me do that. Copy, come back here, and then do a paste. And let's see how many get replaced. So that actually worked really well. The only one that I didn't replace is this number here. This is a dark blue. And I could just replace it right now with a paste. And there we go. Looks wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I've been very careful in all of this to make sure that I've got the hash number once and only once, and to end that number I've got this semicolon on all of these commands. It is possible to introduce typos into your SVG, and I just discovered that the browser won't complain, but neither will it correctly display your SVG. So it's important to make sure that you're editing very carefully and not introducing new errors. So let's go ahead and save this. I can go, don't know how to get rid of this. Oh, just, where's my, maybe it's because I'm zoomed in. Let me zoom out. Don't know how to get rid of this window. Just going to click on it and hit Command W. That's my keyboard shortcut to closing windows. So now if we come back to live server, which is that one right there, there he is. He could be a little darker. This is the play part of, yeah, I'm going to go darker with him. And as you saw, since I now can do something relatively quickly, which way do I want to go? Maybe I just want to go a little bit, trying to remember which ones I had before. So let's look, trying to figure out which one is, this one is the darker color because, and I don't know, I'm going to change this one. I can always Command Z. Let me now, once again, bring up the SVG preview. So I've copied the lighter color, come up to edit, or highlighted the lighter color, replace, oops, why didn't it do that? Try again, edit, replace. Oh, that's weird. One more time, edit, replace, there we go. Paste that in, change them all. I made it lighter, not darker. So as I said, I can hit Command Z as an undo. We will try one more time. Let's see. What was the number? Let's go nice and dark. So I'm going to copy that using my keyboard shortcut, Command C, and try it one more time. See how that looks. That looks better. I'll leave it like that. So again, I can save, and since live server is constantly checking for new changed files, there we are. Yeah, I kind of like that. Could still probably be a little bit darker, but then I wouldn't necessarily see the linear gradient, so I'm going to leave it alone. Don't know what that's there for. What is that about me there? Okay. All right, so this has gone on long enough. Let me stop this video now and take a look at the next section. Before I stop, I'm actually going to do a commit and push. So I will get rid of those with a Command W to get rid of that window. Add new color to origami bird. Check mark. Push. Making sure it goes. Come up to the repo, refresh, Add new color to origami bird is there. Here I am inside the Netlify version of this. Right now it's blue, and now it's green. All right, I think we're doing quite well on this. I think we only have one other section to do, and then of course we'll finish by validating the files.